Well, hello, friends. Hey, we're getting ready to start a new week, and this week we're going to talk about David, who's little David and big Goliath up here. David and Goliath, the story about David and Goliath. Now, I just want to do a quick recap kind of the story, and that story being that those of you that haven't read it, it's in 1 Samuel 17. I recommend you that you read it, but what it was this Goliath, this giant of a man. He was taunting the army of Israel and saying how he was going to kill him, and nobody could beat him, and da 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 da. I mean, he was taunting and raising Cain with him, and they's all looking out there scared to death. Nobody wanted to go fight him, and all of a sudden a little shepherd man, a little shepherd boy, he wasn't even a man, he's a boy, David says, hey, I'll take care of this dude for you guys if you want me to. Cogburn says, hey, amen to that. So he says, I'll take care of that dude if you want me to. And they're like, no, you can't do that. You can't manage him. He's too big. We're even afraid to go mess with him. And David's like, man, look, in the wilderness, I've killed bears, lions, you name it, to protect the sheep. This is not a big deal. I don't know, not a big deal for me. So, but we learn and we find out why it's not a big deal for David, because David has a different way of looking at things. It's a way we need to look at things. So, what I'd like to do is I'd like to go into 1 Samuel 17. And Rooster Cogburn is throwing out another amen. Rooster Cogburn is on a roll this morning. Here we go. 1 Samuel 17:45. Then David said to the Philistine, he's talking to Goliath right now, you come to me with a sword, with a spear, with a javelin, but I come to you in the name of the Lord. See, now what is David doing differently than the rest of all the people that were there? He wasn't coming to the giant on his own abilities. He was coming to the giant in the name of the Lord of hosts, the God of the armies of Israel, whom you have defiled. He went on to say, this day the Lord will deliver you into my hand, and I will strike you and take your head from you. And this day I will give the carcass of the camp of the Philistines to the birds of the air and to the wild beasts of the earth, that all the earth may know that there is a God in Israel. So what was the difference between the way they were managing it and the way David managed it? Well, it ain't no secret, right? The way David managed it was the way that we should manage everything in our lives. He allowed God to manage it for him. See? Now, the fact is that Goliath was going against the army of Israel, God's army. Well, we're God's people, and I'm going to tell you something. Satan works no differently today than he did then. Maybe today it's something else that's working that fear factor in your life, friend, and I don't know what it is. But for them guys then, the fear factor was the giant, the Goliath, the big man. And it brought fear to their lives. They didn't want to face it. I don't know what it is that's going on in your life today that's bringing that fear to you. But know this, that there is a way to win. There is a way to get around these types of things that are going on in our lives. And that way is by not thinking that it's us that's going to get it done. Like David. I mean, David was just a teenage kid. But he realized and he knew that it wasn't him that was doing what needed to be done. It was God doing it through him. Let's open up our hearts and let God work through us, that whatever those big giants are in front of us, that we may turn them over to the Lord, and that we may go boldly without fear. As David said, but I come to you in the name of the Lord. Whatever that giant is in your life, go to it in the name of the Lord and allow his strength to knock that dude out of your way, because he will. It'll happen for you. It's not me promising you that, friend. That is God and his word. We see it how it happens. When we allow him to work in our lives, amazing things can happen to us. So allow him to be your strength. Till next week, God bless.